Obama's overseas engaging his favorite pastime, throwing shade on the USA. While visiting Laos, he told a group of students,
I believe that the United States is and can be a great force for good in the world. But
there's always a but. But what's wrong about America, Mr. President?
You know, if you're the United States, sometimes you can feel lazy and think, you know, we're so big, we don't have to really know anything about other people. And that's part of what I'm trying to change.
Yeah, America's lazy, especially when it's curing AIDS in Africa, when it's sharing our medical advances with the world. Why, we were so lazy in the last century, we saved the world from the Axis powers and then from communist domination. We're now fighting for the civilization of mankind against Islamic terrorists. No country's ever been so powerful and done so much good. No country's ever been more restrained in its use of power. And we give more foreign aid than any other nation. Now, you're saying, Tom, you're just pointing out the good. Obama's seeing the other side. But this is the way President Obama sees the United States. He sees the bad. He always has. Many people around the world resent America, largely because of the false propaganda of our enemies. One of the main jobs of the president is to refute this, or as I say, repudiate this, and stress the good that our country does. Obama does the opposite. He plays into the arguments of America's biggest foes. Sad. Greg, are we a lazy nation?
I agree with Obama. Yes, I think that we are a lazy nation. No matter what political party you are, you have to agree that to some degree, in this day and age, we're a lazy generation. We're a lazy country. A few things about this. First of all, since 2008, when Obama became president, we've become exponentially lazier.
Oh, so it's Obama's fault.
You know, I didn't say that, but, you know, some people would say America used to be known for these things like steel mills and the audio industry, and now we're known for Facebook and YouTube, which is infinite time killers, these things. Am I making sense? Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
I love this. Obama's like a player that's announced his retirement, but before he leaves the team, he's going to criticize all the players before he goes out. And I'm down with that.
I mean, I can't believe this. Kristen, Obama, he loves to tour the world and criticize his own country. Why?
I don't know. I mean, the President of the United States is overseas throwing Americans under the bus. This is a man who has spent $100 million on vacations of our money, taxpayer money. Then he has the nerve to call us lazy? How dare he? I mean, who are the idiots voting these liberals into office who hate America? And he said also that we're lazy because we don't take time to understand other cultures. Well, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't understand other cultures, Tom. Everyone in the world loves America. They all want to come here. Our culture is great. I mean, you can get a McDouble for $1 here. What other country can you buy a fantastic meal for $1?
Not in Laos.
The USA.
You can survive for a year on $1 in Laos, I think.
Yes.
This is the thing with Obama. All right, first of all, who was playing golf in Martha's Vineyard when Louisiana was drowning?
It proves his point.
Mr. Vacation Time, Barack Obama. And look at the way he's dressed there. And look at the way his speech is now so slow. Americans are like kind of like lazy because I have checked out. And to Kristen's point, you are absolutely right. The left in this country thinks the most evil force in the world is America. That we are responsible for all of the evils of the world because the rot started in this country, and that is fundamentally what Barack Obama believes. I went to Colombia the way he did, and everybody I was with Colombia was a bunch of communists who hated America, and that's the culture he comes out of.
There you go. Camille, you look like you want to repudiate somebody.
No, I just had a hyperbole aneurysm. What the hell is going on here?
Next time I'll shout at you, Camille.
Yeah, no, please God, do not. Look, I think that there is something that is just absolutely true about Farawaystan not being a place that most Americans think about a great deal. It is far from us. It is not something we talk about a great deal. Whether or not Americans are lazy, though, is another thing entirely. I don't think that there is much evidence of that. But I think the broader point that the president was trying to make, not particularly artfully. I mean, he had his shirt opened all the way. He looks pretty exhausted there.
Yeah.
Bring back Ronald Reagan, who used to wear a tie every time he made a public appearance. The president of the United States is sitting there with he should have a gold chain on. I'm not the president. I'm not leading the free world.
And it's okay not to wear a tie every once in a while. It's fine.
He said lazy twice, and then he said this. Let's show this other clip where he called us racists.
That especially becomes a problem when the economy is not doing well, and so people feel stressed. And typically when people feel stressed, they turn on others who don't look like them.
Look, Camille, I mean, look, that is a direct attack at the heartland of America. I mean, he's had a bad economy for 8 years, and now he's saying, is why this is...
No, and that's standard issue claptrap. I mean, but there is something to be said for, like, the xenophobia that you see in various other countries as well. When things go bad in South Africa and the Zimbabweans are coming across the border looking for jobs, the South Africans hate the Zimbabweans. And you see a lot of the same icky rhetoric coming from South Africans aimed at Zimbabweans in a circumstance like that. So it's that kind of tribal loyalty and tribal fighting that happens, that has some sort of economic component to it. So that's a thing. It's real. And it's okay to acknowledge it on some level. There is no doubt, however, that the left goes to the extreme when they talk about these issues and pretend as though what animates everyone who thinks that Donald Trump is a potentially good candidate for office is a racist. That is a ridiculous proposition. It could also be ridiculous that he could be a good president. Both things could be true.
We are undoubtedly lazier in the past 8 years. There's been the advent of Facebook, YouTube, want to go back to this point, iPhones, all in the past 8 years. I mean, if the cavemen had Facebook and YouTube, they never would have discovered fire.
But all those things help us work harder. I don't know how that makes sense.
You don't work harder, you waste time in your office all day. You think Facebook is a time waster?
Technology that is conquering the world.
YouTube is a time waster. We don't work harder with YouTube.
More than, welfare use is at an all-time high. So what Obama is doing when he calls us lazy is he is insulting his own voters.
That's right, and that's, I think, that's my problem. If you're a college professor, you can go abroad and you can say all these things, theoretically, but I don't think a president should be doing it. He should be bucking up his own nation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.